Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation on the project delivery system of the Eglinton Crosstown LRT or ECLRT and the Ontario Line project. This presentation has been prepared by Group 7 for the CV 8105 Construction Administration and Management course, and now let's dive into our detailed analysis of this crucial infrastructure project. Here's a brief overview of our presentation. We will start with an introduction to both the ECLRT and Ontario Line projects. Then we will move on to the literature review, followed by a discussion and analysis. And finally, we will conclude with our findings and recommendations. Infrastructure projects, as you know, are critical to urban developments, and their success hinges significantly on the project delivery system employed. In our report, we will emphasize the importance of these systems in ensuring project success and efficiency. To give you an idea of the scope of these projects, the Eglinton Crosstown LRT is a 19-kilometer light rail transit line with 25 stations, and the Ontario line is a 15.5-kilometer rapid transit line. And both projects aims to enhance the public transit, reduce the congestion through the city, and provide sustainable transportation solutions for Toronto. As I said before, the Eglinton Crosstown is a 19-kilometer light transit rail from Kennedy Station to Mount Dennis with 25 stations along Eglinton Avenue, and it aims to let you travel in the city 60% faster than your current route. And the Eglinton Crosstown LRT is a significant investment in Toronto public transit infrastructure with a budget of $5.4 billion. And the project timeline has been various phases of development actually, and it was initiated in mid 2011, and it was expected to finish the operation by 2022. And it is expected to provide numerous benefits upon completion of this project, such as improving the east-west connectivity, seamless integration with existing transit system, and also 60% reduction in the travel time along the Eglinton Avenue. And here in this picture, you can see the ECLRT map. This map provides a detailed look at the Eglinton Crosstown LRT project line and stations, and showcasing how it integrates with existing transit routes to improve connectivity across the Toronto. Now I want to actually talk about the Ontario line. The Ontario line actually in this project it covers 15.5 kilometers with 15 stations. And the purpose of the Ontario line is to alleviate congestion on current transit lines such as Line 1. And it has estimated budget of $11 billion and expected benefit was serving 388,000 daily riders by 2031. And here you can see in this map the Ontario Line project stations. And thank you. Now we will move on to the next section of our report, which is the literature review.
Moving forward with the literature review for the project delivery system of the two projects which were discussed by my colleague. A crucial element for any construction project's success is the managerial choice of project delivery techniques, since key performance indicators such as quality, execution, maintenance, and cost are directly affected by the project delivery system. The selection of the project delivery system depends on the owner of the project, and in case of large infrastructure projects such as ECLRT and Ontario Line, these projects are owned by the Province of Ontario under Metrolinx and Infrastructure Ontario. Infrastructure Ontario in Eglinton Crosstown LRT project uses alternate financing and procurement as a project delivery mechanism, which is a type of P3 delivery system, with Crosslinks Transit Solutions as contractor, which is responsible for designing, building, financing, and maintenance of the project. A value for money assessment was done for this project to see if AFP model would be sufficient or not. So a value for money assessment is basically it gives you the difference between the life cycle cost of the project under the traditional design bid build project delivery system, and we compare it with the AFP model that is being considered for this project, which includes basically the design and construction cost, transition and risk retained cost. So the value of money assessment showed that estimated cost savings for the ECLRT project will be 22% when compared with the design bid build delivery model. So the stages involved in the AFP model delivery method are: first, approval is obtained from board of directors, and then a request for proposal termed as RFP is generated. Bidding process is initiated, and once the bid is selected, it is then reviewed and compared with the traditional design bid build delivery system to assess a value for money assessment. Once project agreement is reached, if the board approves after VFF assessment, then Infrastructure Ontario releases a public report uh, telling about the project agreement and whatever are the business models. For the Project Ontario line, both Metrolinx and Infrastructure Ontario are the public sector players in this project. And Ontario line consists of three separate public-private partnerships, namely a 30-year contract, which is a design, build, finance, operate, and maintain contract with rolling stock system operations and maintenance. Second contract for Southern Civil Stations and Tunnels is a design, build, finance contract. And the third contract for Northern Civil Stations and Tunnels is a progressive design build contract. All these three contracts are coming under the umbrella of public-private partnerships. So let's discuss a little bit about what is a public-private partnership model. The term public-private partnership denotes a procurement strategy in which a project is delivered through an enlarged network of contractual arrangements between public and private sectors in providing an asset or a service. The motivation for involving private sector participation in planning, financing, construction, and operation is to reduce the life cycle cost or enhance quality using the same resources. This is known as greater value for money and is commonly used to justify P3 over traditional public procurement. Also, another reason is to transfer the risks from public sector to private sector. Let's discuss a little bit about the traditional project delivery system to better understand the difference between them. In a traditional delivery system, cost and schedule of the project are locked in the early stage of the project. This is before a detailed design has been established. The tender is awarded usually to the lowest bidder, and when detailed design is conducted after this tender has been awarded, then the initial cost usually changes. So the contractor puts major risk on the project, which can be shortage of skilled labor, material cost overrun, and delays. This delivery model basically increases a lot of risk involved, and it puts the project under a lot of risk. So that is why a value for money assessment, whenever it's done with a traditional delivery model, we see that risk greatly reduces. So once we have compared the traditional delivery model with a P3 model, we come towards the conclusion of our literature review, that is, what are the benefits of using this delivery model, which is P3, And what are the disadvantages? So some of the benefits of using P3 model is that number one, risk transfers from the public sector towards the private sector. We have value for money. Risk transfer would be associated with design, construction delays, cost overrun, and finance and insurance. We are able to utilize creativity and capability from the private sector. Uh, we can reduce the facility operation and maintenance cost. The disadvantages of using a P3 model are that public and private sectors both have different motivations from the project and they both are looking for a different outcome. So this can create some tension or power struggle between the two parties. Public sector wants to reduce short-term expenditure while private sector is looking for revenues and profits. The role of public sector in P3 model is usually very limited, and most of the time VFM analysis which is conducted can be somewhat deceiving, as we will see in our discussion and analysis.
The first significant question about the ECLRT and Ontario line is that have the Ontario line and ECLRT projects secured new funding sources from infrastructure development? The ECLRT project initially was 5.4 Canadian billions dollars and launched in 2008. However, the project's costs have reached approximately 12 billion Canadian dollars. Also, the initial budget for the Ontario line was set at 10.9 billion Canadian dollars in 2019, although the current budget for that has significantly increased between 17 and 19 billion Canadian dollars. Totally, both the Ontario line and the ECLRT secured substantial funding and progress despite challenges. Then the next significant question is does the public private partnership model provide good value for money in these projects? We believe the P3 model has demonstrated value for money in the ECLRT and Ontario Line projects by leveraging private sector expertise and efficiency to manage risk and control costs effectively. However, the ECLRT utilized a P3 model. It has faced significant delays and cost overruns, raising concerns about the model's effectiveness. The third important question about these projects is that does the P3 model help minimize construction and project delays? We believe Infrastructural Ontario report that a majority of their P3 projects are completed on budget and on time, including Ontario Line. However, the ECLRT project has experienced significant delays and cost overruns, indicating challenges despite the P3 framework. The fourth significant question about this project is that were risk from both companies effectively transferred to the private sector? The answer for this question is that the risk associated with the ECLRT and Ontario Line projects have not been fully transferred to the private sector, despite the intention to allocate risk to private contractors through P3 models. For example, the ECLRT project has experienced numerous delays and cost overruns, indicating that some risk remains with the public sector and taxpayers. Similarly, the Ontario line has also faced issues in fully mitigating risk despite the P3 framework.
And now we are continue discussion and analysis part. First of all, let's look at impact on overall planning. The Ontario line aims to reduce congestion and improve connectivity in Toronto. However, some experts criticize it for potentially compromising the city's integrated transit planning. There are concerns that its routing decisions may not align seamlessly with broader transit needs, potentially leading to underutilization and inefficiencies. The ECLRT, on the other hand, has been praised for enhancing connectivity and reducing travel times. It links with multiple bus routes, subway stations, and GO Transit lines, promising improved access across the Greater Toronto Area. However, significant delays and cost overruns have raised concerns about its impact on the overall transit infrastructure and local roads. Both projects require complex coordination with existing transit services. The Ontario line intersects key points in the city, but raises concerns about its integration with long-term urban development plans. The ECLRT, with its extensive network of stops and connections, promises to ease east-west travel. Despite this, it faces challenges due to ongoing construction issues and delays, raising questions about project management and future maintenance. Next, let's discuss how the project delivery methods impact community and stakeholder consultation. The public-private partnership model influences community and stakeholder consultation significantly. For the Ontario Line, Metrolinx, and Infrastructure Ontario have engaged communities through public meetings, feedback sessions, and digital platforms. However, some community members feel their feedback did not significantly alter the project plans. The ECLRT, also using a public-private partnership model, faced challenges in stakeholder consultation. Local businesses and communities along the route experienced significant disruptions, with complaints about inadequate communication and delayed timelines exacerbating dissatisfaction. Both projects underscore the importance of comprehensive stakeholder engagement in public-private partnership models. The Ontario line has integrated community feedback to some extent, while the ECLRT's experience highlights the potential pitfalls when consultation is not sufficiently proactive or responsive. Effective consultation in public-private partnership projects should involve continuous dialogue, transparent communication, and genuine incorporation of stakeholder feedback to minimize negative impacts and foster community support. Now let's look at the long-term maintenance plans for these projects. The Ontario Line's maintenance is managed by the Connect 6 consortium under a 30-year contract, ensuring robust operational frameworks and advanced systems for high-frequency train service. Similarly, the ECLRT is maintained under a public-private partnership by Crosslinks Transit Solutions, responsible for maintaining the line for 30 years post-construction with regular inspections, system upgrades, and preventative measures. In conclusion, the ECLRT and Ontario Line projects highlight the complexities of larger-scale urban transit initiatives. The public-private partnership model has yielded mixed results. The Ontario Line shows effective risk transfer and progress adherence, while the ECLRT has faced delays and cost overruns. Infrastructure Ontario's alternative financing and procurement model for value for money underestimated the actual situation of the ECLRT project. Once the ECLRT project is completed, it is crucial to conduct another value for money analysis to better understand the project's true costs and benefits and to improve future project planning. Comprehensive planning, robust stakeholder engagement, and adaptive management are essential to address challenges and ensure successful delivery. Future projects must incorporate lessons learned from these experiences to improve efficiency, stakeholder satisfaction, and overall outcomes. Thank you for your attention.